track today. Or maybe it'll just help you recalibrate. Take your mind off all the stress that's going on around you. Come on, you ready? Let's go.
Living out loud, living out loud. Loving out loud, loving out loud. Laughing out loud, laughing out loud. I want the world to know that I'm blessed. Hey, oh, hey, yeah, hey, oh, hey.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? It is Thurston O'Neill here with the Brothers Like Us radio show on the Living Out Loud radio TV show. Let me get myself together here. Take all of this other nonsense off. How's everybody doing today? We're back again, only here for a very short time today. I got a lot of stuff going on. Daughters are going to a Mike, how you doing, man? It's good to see you, bro. Good to see your name, man. We definitely got to hook up. Michael Ash, that's my brother. Love this dude, man. Love this dude. Definitely have to talk to you, man. I'm gonna actually give you a shout out later on today. But thanks for checking in, man. Even if it's just briefly, I always appreciate it. Everybody, we are back for another week. I had some technical issues last week, so it didn't pop up on my main page. I think it's popping up today. So you guys are welcome. Please, if you have a chance, share that the show is on. Share a link to it. Let everybody come on in. Again, today's not going to be a long show at all. Just wanted to come on and make sure that, make sure that I came on today so that my listeners don't be trying to come from me saying they're going to take over my show. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. But today is a big day. One of our brothers graduated today. We've been talking about it for the last 6 months to a year. He was looking to graduate, went back to school to finish his degree, and graduated today, man. So excited and proud of Darren, Pastor Darren, our brother. He always brings such wisdom and insight to the show. And today he graduated. So I saw the photos he shared with us. We all reached out to him to congratulate him, to let him know how proud we are of him. I don't know. I doubt if he'll be able to join the show today. I know he's with family and enjoying this milestone, but we are extremely, extremely proud, and I can't wait to speak with him more. I mean, we've talked about it in depth over our time here about how he decided to go back, how God called him to go back, the influence that Pastor Pat had on his decision to go back, and all the sacrifices that he made. And he has graduated. So we're extremely proud of him and definitely want to talk about that. And I just thought this was funny, man. I did a short video early because I was testing the thing, but you know, the Omicron variant, there seems to be a new variant every couple of weeks. The Omicron variant. When I first heard it, I actually thought they had said the Omarion variant, and automatically his song Entourage popped in my head. So that's all I think about. Anytime somebody mentions this new variant, I'm thinking Omarion. Who we have here? Louisa, how are you? How you doing today? It's great to see you. See, I'm back again. We are we're on another streak. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss you today, so you've been trying to take over my show again. But yes, Louisa, I don't know. Did you see the pictures of Pastor Darren, his graduation and everything? Super excited for him. Cannot wait for him to come on the show so we could talk about it some more. And really, 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 really congratulate him and celebrate him. And listen, it looks like the cases are going up again. So I don't even know. I was definitely planning on some time for all of the guys to get together, even if it's not on camera, like going out to dinner with the guys and seeing how everybody's doing. But it looks like, with cases going up, I don't know how that's going to work. even though I was actually able to, I had a great time this morning. Actually went out and participated in praise and worship, and it's been quite a while. But I did make my way out today, and it was wonderful. We had an uh, awesome time in praise and worship. A great word from Minister Lisa. We just had a great time. Darwin was here at the Long Island campus, and we had a lot of fun just glorifying God, lifting up his name. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. So I don't know how many of you guys made it out to Long Island campus today, but we had a great time. I'm glad that I was able to make it out. I haven't been out for quite a while. At first, it was the with COVID, with the pandemic and everything, my family literally shut it down. We were in the house. We were not going anywhere. So even when church opened back up, I wasn't going out. So a lot of the mandates sort of waned. Um, and even though I was willing to go out, then my schedule got kind of crazy with work, with family, with everything going on. So, I still wasn't able to make it out as much as possible. I am trying to carve out some time now so that I can be a part of this dynamic praise and worship team and what's going on at CCC, my family there. But we're gonna see how it works. But today was great. I had a wonderful time, so much fun, great time in ministry with my family. So I checked in a little bit, Louisa, in Brooklyn. I didn't see the whole service, but I did check in. Um, yes, there was a young man, Chris Blue, right? Chris Blue. There was a young man that did praise and worship with the team. And I watched a little bit of it, and it looked like you guys were having a wonderful time. Um, and of course, Pastor's gonna hit it out the park every time. So yes, doing a teaching on love. So I'm gonna go back and listen to the teaching. I don't know if praise and worship stays up, but I know the word does. So I will go back and listen to that. And yeah, we had a wonderful time too. And it felt good to be out. It felt good to be in the church house and really seeing everybody again. It was nice. It was nice. I had a wonderful time. I think the guys will probably be surprised. I think a couple of them knew that I was going. I don't know. I don't know where they are, Louisa. Sometimes they pop on a few minutes late. Randy might be waking up from his nap in a few minutes. But like I said, I am not going to be on here long at all. I just wanted to make sure that I came on just to touch base and basically talk about all the stuff that's going on with the Omicron variant. We see numbers going up again. And I just got my booster on Friday. Got my booster shot. Made me really tired. And actually, I had to mix because where I went did not have Moderna. They only had the Pfizer. So I didn't want to wait to try to find Moderna. So I took the Pfizer. And, they say that you can use either one when you're boosting. They didn't have Johnson and Johnson. I would not have taken Johnson and Johnson even if they did. Yeah, you're right. This virus is really, really bad. I mean, 20,000 positive cases. So the numbers are going back up. And I've even heard of schools and some businesses and stuff starting to shut down. Even from what I hear over in Jersey, they've gone back to some remote learning. I don't know if it's for everyone, but some schools have gone back to remote learning. And yeah, we have to see how all of that is going to pan out over time. I don't know how it's going to affect us, but I'm looking forward to enjoying this holiday season. So I'm fully vaxxed. I got my booster. I'm wearing masks everywhere. I'm washing my hands. I got everything that I need, taking all of my supplements and all of this extra stuff to keep my immune system up and strong. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about where I am. I saw that. So, and Louisa, I saw that Broadway was closing some shows. At least, and what I heard last week was they were closing it until like next week and trying to reopen because a lot of cast members had gotten it. And I don't know if you watch sports or not, but a lot of teams barely have enough players to play their games. So it's a lot going on. Trying to deal with all of this stuff is a little crazy. I didn't realize that Radio City. So Radio City's Christmas show is shut down. I wonder if they're going to try to reopen before the season is completely done. I don't know. It's just a lot going on. So these numbers, they go up and down. Oh wow, because they don't want to take the vaccines. That's funny. That's something else. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. A lot. I know a lot of people that haven't taken the vaccine, and I mean, I think anyone that's watched the show, they know exactly where I stand, right? I know they know that I'm fully vaxxed. My family's fully vaxxed, but I am not. I am not one that's trying to force vaccinations on people, and I know that. A lot of people think that everyone should get it, and I know we got to get to a certain threshold to be safe. I understand it all, but sort of forcing people to take it just doesn't sit right with me. And I know that there may be mandates coming down the line, and I'm just interested in seeing how that all works out. How does it really affect people? Will people people are giving up their jobs. They're giving up their jobs as opposed to taking the vaccine. I mean, they are, they really truly are. They're standing on their beliefs, and I understand it. There's certain freedoms that we enjoy here, and this could get really, really tricky. Vaughn, how you doing, man? Everything good? I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
How you doing, man? I'm sorry I missed last week.
Oh, no problem. I know why you missed it, man. I had to redo some stuff over here, so it didn't pop up on my regular page. So you probably didn't even realize we were on.
Didn't realize it at all. I was actually waiting for you, and it didn't pop up, so I didn't think you went on.
Right. No, it didn't pop up, so I had to go back and redo some stuff here behind the scenes, and now it's popping up, and I see a lot of other people jumping on, which is great. So I don't know. I did a little clip earlier. How do you say Omicron?
Well, I was listening to not the Breakfast Club, Ebro in the morning this week, and he was like, "Listen, I'm tired of trying to figure it out. I'm just going to call it the Omarion."
Exactly, because that's what pops in my head.
He was like, "It's just the Omarion. That's what I'm going to call it."
The Omarion variant. So I was playing Entourage earlier as I was testing this out, because that's the song that pops in my head every time. Every time I hear it, the song Entourage pops up. And listen, that was a crazy good song. So are you familiar with the Entourage song, Omarion's?
Yeah.
So this is funny. I was playing it out loud. Jaden was down here. She popped in her head. She was popping her head like, I like that. And I was like, you don't know this song, do you? She's like, nope. I said, do you even know who Omarion is? She was like, no, I just heard it when people were talking about the variant. People were talking about his name. So I was like, you know what? They definitely missed out on a lot of really good music, man.
Yeah, they missed out on most good music.
Exactly.
Is that Randy's? Is that coming from Randy?
Yeah, are you playing jazz back there or something, Randy?
What you doing, man? I'm trying to get my camera to work.
Okay.
But something's going on with this thing. I'm gonna go off.
Do you have to go out and come back in?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. We'll see you in a minute. Yeah. So it's funny, man. I was laughing that she had no idea who Omarion is, and I said, yeah, you should go and listen to some of his music. He was good, man. Especially that. Yeah. Wait a minute. Louisa, you said, is that how you spell it?
Omicron.
Omicron. Okay. Okay. Omicron. Yeah. So did you? I'm sure you did see Pastor Darren's pictures that he graduated today.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. So proud of him. I didn't get to see the graduation. No, it was streaming, but I was out
right.
and about, and I'm very, very proud of him.
Yeah, me too, man. I didn't get to see the live stream. I was in church today. I told you I was going to be in church, and I thought I was going to be in Brooklyn. I was actually at the Long Island campus, so I didn't get a chance to stop by and see you guys. But wait, what's that? Oh yes, it does. The Omicron. It does sound like something from another galaxy, Louisa. It's a little crazy. So I went out to Long Island today and was part of the praise and worship team. Darwin was out there. It was great. We had such a great time. Did you
Great.
go into Brooklyn today, or you were just running errands?
No, we were running around taking care of a bunch of different things, and so we missed it.
Are you guys ready for the holidays?
I mean,
As much as you're gonna be, right?
yeah, it's gonna be here, so
Right.
yeah. So, Adrian today was saying to me like, this doesn't feel like Christmas.
It really doesn't, bro.
And so I tried this, like, I was like, okay, I'll play the Destiny Child's Christmas song for you. Maybe that'll bring you into the.
Wow.
Like, didn't work.
Wow. No. Oh, Luisa's asking about
My fur baby.
yeah. Why can't I remember the name? Snickers.
Snickers is just fine. He got in trouble for peeing on the floor last night, but
Man.
But Snickers is just fine. He's we're gonna have to exercise Snickers. He's putting on some weight.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, we got he's putting on some COVID weight. So we're gonna have to get him out there and get him running.
Lord have mercy. Listen, I'm sure he's spoiled, man. You got a house full of people that love him up.
Yes.
Much like Dexter, I'm sure he's spoiled. We call Dexter the disrespectful dog because he thinks he can do whatever he wants in this house. Randy, what's going on, baby?
Not much, man. Good. Good to see you, Don. I haven't seen you like in 2 weeks.
I know, bro.
I asked Thurston. I said, "Where Vaughn at?" And he give me some answers, and then I find just to find out right after that, you said your guy was on last week.
Yeah,
right.
You know how that is. Our host don't let nobody know nothing. He just pops on. You don't send out no kind of message, no nothing.
Sunday at 4:00. What else I got to tell you? Sunday at 4:00.
And listen.
Hold on.
Evidently, you got to tell us something. Guys didn't know he was on. You got to tell us something.
Well, yeah.
Hold on. My producer's here. Hold on. I got to take a pause.
Okay. All right. So, Randy, how's everything, man?
Good, man. Can't complain. Just trying to enjoy this retirement I'm on.
Is 100% official now?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, December 1st.
I know it was in the works. I knew it was in the plans, but I didn't know you actually pulled the trigger.
Yeah, December 1st. It was like I was on, using my comp time for the whole month of November, and then December 1st was the actual day that I was off the books for the city.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, man.
After how many years?
33 and a half.
33 and a half years for the city.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, man. That's great. And do I assume, I know how it is with the police department and fire department and corrections, where you get a percentage of your last year's salary. Is it to a similar degree?
Yeah, not really with sanitation, But
not the same type of percentage they give to the police and fire department.
No, they don't.
So I had some police officer friends, and when they knew they were going to retire, those last couple of years they would do a lot of overtime.
Yeah,
because that, like you said, Vaughn, it was a percentage of whatever their last year or last 2 years.
50%.
Yeah. Well, in that regard, yeah, they do that. It's like basically like the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. So like if you're doing 20 years, you get to 15, you want to try to, get into a nice district now because of this COVID thing, and guys not wanting to take shots and stuff like that. So,
So a bunch are leaving.
So, well, some was leaving, but a lot racked up overtime.
Right.
Wow.
But it's not what you did that last year is a.
Yeah.
But
Right, because after a certain amount of years, it's like you don't really get nothing. They're not adding anything to it, so you just working to be working.
Right.
So whatever your percentage that you're going to say, like even if you did 20 years, but you want to do like 25, say you want to go out 25, that 5 years is the crucial years where they start pouring more money in and racking up the overtime.
Now I know with the police and fire department, after their 20 years, after the 20 years, they get when they retire, they get 50% for the 50% of whatever that final year was.
Well, to that I don't.
Which is
not. I actually thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 60 or 70%.
No. I think it's 50%, which is why, right? In the year and the following year after 9/11, everybody wholesale in the fire and police department were retiring because the kind of hours they put in that year and after September 11th.
I mean, that's what you basically want to try to rack up. People say, like, for instance, they were saying that guys that, especially like in Staten Island, they weren't picking up no garbage. I mean, Staten Island became like the epicenter for COVID-19.
Oh, wow.
And when I'm telling you that they wasn't picking up no garbage, they was not picking up garbage. So they had a thing where there was a bunch of guys that got a 30-day rep because they did some kind of, it's almost federal. They're looking to bring federal charges against them.
Really?
Yeah, because what they was doing, they was going on this app and they was paying for, for the card.
Oh
yeah.
And they were paying for the card. And they caught on to it. And the knuckleheads, what they were doing, they was paying through one of these pay apps. So they left a paper trail.
Leaving a trail.
So they caught them all. A lot of them quit because they refused to take the shot. Some of them, like, they got a 30-day rep. That means you get 30 days suspended with no pay for 30 days, a whole month. And they still now looking to bring federal charges against them. And the majority of this is from Staten Island.
So, I wonder if it's going to affect those guys' pensions. Like that federal charge could be a big deal. Like
it could be. It could be.
If it affects their pension, that's a huge deal, man.
Yeah, and it could listen in any city job. That's the one thing that you want to protect is your pension.
Absolutely. That's why you work so many years.
That's the one thing you want to do is you want to protect that pension. So they, they trying to be slick. They trying to do this, and a lot of people left, man. I mean, they hurting. But the thing was, like, the office that I was working in, they shut it down, right?
Okay.
For a week because they had to send all the supervisors out and send them all to Staten Island.
Wow.
Because they was trying to get them to go to work to pick up the garbage, and no jokers still wouldn't pick it up.
The people wouldn't pick up in Staten Island.
In Staten Island, they sent out of towners, like like you work in Brooklyn, Vaughn work in Queens, so they'll send you to Staten Island, and when they get they still wouldn't pick it up.
Wow.
Because Staten Island numbers are higher.
Always been. Always been.
I have a theory of why it would be.
It's always been, and during the whole time they just fought against everything, and when it came down to this thing that Mayor de Blasio put out that every city worker has to get, so they got hit, man.
Right.
And it's true. The city workers got $500 for taking the vaccine.
Could you get back pay for that because you took it on your own?
No, no, no. Matter
Listen,
of fact,
I've
matter,
been trying to go show my card. Like, listen, man, you didn't even have to pay me, but I want that $500 anyway.
no, my daughter was one that was against it. She
Did she
wasn't
take
really.
the $500?
Yeah, she got it.
Oh, excellent.
Your daughter
Excellent.
works for the city? She works for the city?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, she worked for the Department of Transit.
Yeah,
So when she was not really against it. She's just like saying, like, when the time comes, if I need to get it, I'll get it. That's sort of the thing.
Right.
So when it came down to her or her job, the vaccine or her job, she decided to go on and get it, and they gave her the $500.
Okay. And
But-
Louisa said her son got it after the first shot. So, Louisa, did you mean that your son had taken the first shot and then they offered $500 and he got the $500 before taking the second shot? That's a pretty good deal. And now, so Vaughn, I don't know if I asked you this. Did you get your booster?
I got my booster the day after Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right. That's right.
Because we were taking Ryan, my 8-year-old, we were taking him to get his first shot. And so while we were there at the pediatrician, we found out that they were letting whole families get it. So I said, "Hey, can I get the booster while I'm here?" And they said, "Sure." I'm so glad I got it. Adrian is going to get her booster tomorrow.
Nice.
I think Rachel's goes on the 22nd. I go on the 23rd.
Oh, I thought you had your booster already, Randy.
No.
I just got mine on Friday. It was easy breezy, man. There's this local rapid recovery in Hempstead. They put out the flyers that you could walk in and get it. It was, I walked in, showed them my information, waited a few minutes, got my shot, waited the 15 minutes after it, and walked out.
Now, when was that? When was that?
It was on Friday.
Now, have you looked around at what's going on at all the different urgent cares and
what's going on?
Lines are wrapped around buildings, like it was early on, because of the surge in the Omicron. The surge in the Omicron. So there are lines like when we first started of people outside for hours upon hours upon hours.
So this is the thing. There is a small urgent care in Hempstead, and it's funny. As I was going to get mine, I passed this one spot where there was a line down the street. And this is the funny thing, because if you listen to the narrative, most of the narratives like, Black and brown people are not really going to get the shot. But I saw a lot of Black and brown people on those lines.
There now. I think people are, after 2 years of this, I think some people are like, I better do this now. Some people are getting nervous. They see the surge taking over the place. I think a lot of people have seen enough death to make them know, no, this thing is for real.
Yeah.
And so I think people getting shot, but also people online just to get tested because
that's the basic thing.
Omicron is affecting people who have been vaccinated already.
Right. Exactly.
Now, they're not suffering as severely. They haven't most of them having very mild cases, but there still are. They said the Omicron is much more transferable than the other versions.
Yeah, and that's why they say it's such a surge right now.
Right.
What the thing I noticed? I was telling Rachel. I said, what happened to the flu? I said that you don't hear nothing about anybody getting no flu. Bro. I said, what happened to you? I said they put out getting a flu shot. I said, but it's wonder like. They never had a test for the flu.
Right.
Well, actually, they do. They do. They can test you for the flu. Now, last year, everything was shut down. So and everybody had masks. So the flu wasn't really transferring that much because there was no one. People were so far away from each other.
But
So the flu gets this. The flu. Why so many people get the flu? Because they're around each other in regular daily life and it transfers. But last year it was pretty much a shutdown and everybody was masked up. This year I know 2 people that have been put down by the flu already.
But like I said, when it's almost the same symptoms almost.
Similar.
The first thing you run and do is go get a COVID test.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
then it comes back with this new virus, or you got this new virus, or you got COVID, but you don't hear too much anybody saying, well, you got the flu.
I just got the flu. Right.
Right, because it's like like you said, there's a test. I never known there was a test for the flu. So you get chills, you get headaches, you coughing, whatever the case is, and you go to the doctor. This is how this whole thing caught everybody by surprise. The reason why is because everybody was dying from it.
Right.
They was dying, their chest, the pain, the ache, stuff like this, and they said, and they was like, this ain't no ordinary flu. This
Right.
gotta be something else.
Right.
And then people that was touching people was catching it. So that's the whole thing. But like I'm saying, that when you get these symptoms, the first thing everybody now, I got COVID. Let me go check. Let me go get a test. And then now they're waiting online. Well, really, you could have the flu. But you don't know.
That's true. That's true. So this is funny. I left this comment up there because Louisa, she said, I have a friend who lives out of state that is very, very sick with the virus, and she had shots and the booster. And this is what I was saying. And now I know that you get the shots and the booster. I know that doesn't stop you from getting the virus, but it should not affect you as severely as if you have not gotten the virus. And even stories like this may be very, very limited, right? A very small percentage of people that is affected this way. But it doesn't bode well for the narrative that they're saying, get the shots, get the boosters, and you'll be okay, when you hear about stories like this. And that's not to say that I still know that you're more protected when you have the shots and the booster. I have no doubt about it. But where does this stop? Like, are we going to continue to have to get these different boosters for the different variants? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Ernesto, how you doing, man?
I'm blessed. How are you, man? How are you guys?
Wonderful. Great to see you.
Good.
Great to see you, bro. Great to see you. Randy, you about to say something?
I was going to say that we know this young lady that Rachel and her mother was really, really, really close friends, best friends. So she lives, right around the corner from me. So she works for the CDC. I guess she's the one that calls to check on you and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
So she hasn't gotten the shot, nothing, and she says that she don't want to get it.
Wow.
And she's saying it because of all the stories that she hear from people who's saying that I got I got the shots, I got the booster, I got COVID, I was really sick. So she's hearing all these stories. So she's like, I don't want no part of it.
Right.
And mainly because a lot of people were saying they got the shot, they got COVID. That were basically like the shot gave them COVID.
Really?
People say the same thing about the flu. Ooh, they give me the flu shot. It's gonna give me the flu.
And so but she hearing all these stories because she got to constantly call them up and talk to them about it and this and that, and they tell them all these stories. So,
but this is a person that works for the CDC. She needs another job.
Well,
she needs another job. If she doesn't understand the science, she doesn't need to work.
I think she's probably just going off of what people are telling her, because people self-diagnose all the time, right?
Yeah, right.
Look.
Listen, I'm notorious for that, right? I have all kinds of things going, and I don't get sick a whole lot. But when I get sick, I hate being sick. So, I do a lot of self-diagnosis and, I did this, so maybe that caused this. And instead of just going to the doctor and saying, hey, this is how I'm feeling, test me, do some blood work or whatever, and let me know what's going on. But listen, I have never, so knowing what the symptoms are for COVID, right? I've never lost my taste. I've never had a fever. In all the 2 years that we've been dealing with it, I've never, ever had those symptoms. I had some acid reflux a couple of weeks back, but still, it wasn't anything that caused me to have those type symptoms. So I knew it wasn't COVID. I knew it wasn't the flu. I've never taken the flu shot. And again, I very rarely do I get sick. But go ahead, Ron.
I was saying, but it might have been COVID because not everyone loses their sense of taste.
So
You know,
that's the other thing.
I'm convinced early on that I had it.
Wow.
You know, and
Me
Adrian
too.
and
Me
Taylor.
too.
Really?
Early on, everybody was sick and it was flu-like symptoms, but you know,
Uh-huh.
and for a couple of days they were knocked down. You know,
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I had it the
You're
same.
absolutely right, Louisa.
way too much.
But so listen, but this is the thing, because I probably did eat too much, but I was doing this thing where I was drinking water and orange juice and eating like half a grapefruit each day. So I know that contributed also to the acid reflux. And so once it happened, I went to the doctor, ear, nose, throat doctor, and even when I sort of talked about how I was feeling, everything that was going on, he's like, listen, you don't have COVID. This is what you're gonna need to do. You got to stop drinking all that orange juice and stuff, and bring it under control. He gave me some stuff to take, and in a couple of days, I was good. I was back to normal.
Yeah, for me, I think before we knew that it was COVID. I mean, I had the chills, running a fever, coughing, so I treated it like the flu.
Right.
I popped me some Tylenol, and I drank some other stuff that you get over the counter with the powder stuff that you put in there.
Yeah. What is the emergency stuff?
Yeah, something like that. And I drank that, and then I just wrapped up in the covers, and I sweated it out.
Right.
Because that's how I was kind of treating it.
Right.
But then I hear that the next day or two I was fine. Then all of a sudden everything just breaks out about COVID. And I'm like, so I could have had it because one of the guys at the job had it. We didn't know. And he's walking around with no mask and all this kind of stuff. And he was, touching people and all this kind of stuff. Then we find out that he had it, gave it to somebody else, gave it to my friend. His wife got it from him. He had it one day. She had it for almost a month.
Wow.
Yeah, she said that he thought that he was going to lose her.
So did you guys have to do the COVID tracking protocol, if that's what it's called, where anyone that was in contact with him had to sort of isolate for 10 days? Did you have to go through that?
Yeah, you had to do that.
Okay.
When the first start of the CDC was on it, when you came off the airplane, they was there to greet you.
Yep, and they would call you. They would actually call you
every day.
Hey, what you doing?
Every day for 14 days.
Yep.
I got a text message, and I had to answer this text message.
Wow.
And so, this is what that young lady does. And because she was working, but then when they offer her $45 to $50 an hour, she jumped on it, and she's still doing it.
Is she vaccinated yet or no?
Nope.
She's still not vaccinated.
Nope. She wear her mask, and she was just going to the house. And she's explaining to people. She was like, "I'm just, all the stories that I hear. You're like, nope."
But she's the one telling people about getting vaccinated.
She's going through the motions.
She's reading the scripts, right?
And that's exactly what she's doing. Do you have this? Do you have that?
Right.
Because even us,
and they're still paying her $45, $50 an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she was like, you and Erica, when me and Rachel came off the plane, and we had it. Okay, now y'all have to separate. She's in one room, I'm in another room.
Right.
They ask you how many bathrooms you have, how many rooms you have. They you reading the script, going down, and you answering these questions. Okay, maybe she could stay in one room, you stay in another room. That's what they was doing. Reading down.
I don't think I can isolate from Erica for that long, dude. I can't do it. We just gonna have to suffer together, bro.
But you see Nicole Brown, she has a good remedy, as you see. You know, get y'all some Jamaican rum, rub it on your body, chest, or you can drink. I don't know if it'll work on the symptoms or you can just get drunk. You know,
Yeah.
that's perfect because when you wake up, you know, the COVID will be gone already. You know,
Exactly.
Listen, I want to ask the next, so
Go ahead.
flipping the switch. How was your school experience that next day? I mean, that next day with those girls and that mother fighting. Did anything break off?
I missed the story.
No. Oh, Vaughn, just ask Taylor. She know everything that happened.
Oh yeah. Taylor actually texted you, right?
Yeah, we went in we were in a lockdown. And I'm in the classroom and I get a text from Taylor while I'm in the middle of the lockdown. And it was like, how come Q is locked down?
Okay.
Yeah. It's all over. So it was all over social media. It's
Taylor
crazy.
knows everything.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But so nothing else jumped off though. Everything was good.
Everything was good, thank God.
Well, those individuals were not in school though, right? They were suspended.
They were suspended, but everyone was supposed to get back on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
But some of the other girls that got into fights, you know, the other fights that happened around it, they came back. But the two main people, no, they didn't come back.
Wow.
So what about all this prank stuff that they was doing, that they was talking about the shooting of the schools and stuff like that?
So normally we get about 980 kids per school day. On Friday we had 650 something.
Wow.
So
like
a lot of kids
almost like a third of them stayed home.
Yeah, I got a lot of calls from parents. You know, and a lot of the parents that I spoke to, many of them, half of them did not know it was a hoax. And I'm like, it's in the news.
Right.
We sent a letter from the chancellor. But you know, they don't read their email.
I mean, people
really
don't read that.
But they do call the school. Some didn't know. Those who knew it was a prank, they still kept their kid home because they felt like, and I totally understood, if something were to pop off, they couldn't forgive themselves.
Right. Absolutely. So
Louisa doesn't must not know about the story because she's asking, was it because of the fight? No, Louisa, there was
No, it wasn't. Well, the parents who didn't know about what was on the news thought that it was because of the fight.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But explain so Louisa knows. Louisa, somebody put something out on TikTok and it started to spread throughout social media that nationwide there was going to be school shootings on Friday. So, of course, you know, a panic among some people, you know, all over the country. Some people were, you know, keeping their kids home and, so of course, once it spread on social media, it got to the real news and main news and families. And, you know, we were talking about it in our own chat. I found out because of what? We found out because of Alan, right? Alan shared it with us.
Yeah, I think Alan had shared it and Reggie shared it. Yep.
Right. So, how I handled it, I figured pretty much thought it was a hoax. Hoax. Because first of all, Taylor and Andrew didn't know about it until I brought it up to them.
I was about to say the same thing. Jaden and Jordan had not heard about it.
Right.
They didn't know.
No.
Wow.
You're in Suffolk or Nassau County?
We're in Suffolk County, Half Hollow Hill School District, and I will say this: I'm always comforted about these things. So they're very transparent. Like they'll inform us when something's going on or what's happening. They told us that they were in contact with Suffolk County Police and they were assured that it was a hoax. But this is the other thing, you know, our security is not just this little random. And listen, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but most of our security are like retired officers and people that know their way around trouble. So that gives us a bit of comfort also when we're sending our children out. And they had not heard anything about it. We did send them in. We, of course, told them, you know, keep your eyes open, be cautious and conscious of what's going on, but we did send them in, and thank God, nothing happened.
Right, and that's what we did too. We we prayed with the kids. We always prayed with the kids and just told them remain prayerful and don't be fearful. You can't live your life in fear. Don't be fearful because we all believed it was a hoax. If we thought it was something legitimate, we would have kept them home.
Oh, absolutely.
But you never know because there's always a chance of copycats because they hear something and somebody else do something stupid. But we just told them don't be fearful, remain prayerful, but also just remain watchful and keep your eyes open and stay out of situations and
Some schools did close though.
Yeah, I heard that some schools around the nation decided to just shut down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nassau
Especially in Michigan, a bunch of schools stopped closing in Michigan.
See that
that's where one of the most recent shootings was, right?
Right. In Michigan, they just shut down a bunch of schools because they because they just had that shooting there.
Rush.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Nassau County had a press conference with their police about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
they did. They did.
I missed that.
And they said they looked into it. That's how I found out actually about it because I'm watching the news. The guy gave a press conference, and then it came out. Then we got a message, and then I started getting text messages from parents, showing me the text that they got about being a shooting. And then we looked. Then they investigated because we're with the 105th precinct, and then they informed us that it's a hoax.
So hold on, pause 1 second. So Denise Ambrose, my homegirl that I used to work with. Denise, thanks for checking in. How are you? I saw online that I think this is your oldest. Your oldest is heading off to college, playing soccer, I believe. I think he got a scholarship. That's awesome. Check in with me. Let me know what's going on. I'll definitely reach out to you. I'm glad you're doing well. Yes, Denise. I know you're excited. I know how much you love those boys. Unfortunately, I think you guys are Dallas fans, so I'll give you a pass on that. I'll give you a pass. I think you're Dallas Cowboys fans, if I remember correctly. And that's your youngest that's going? Wow. That's excellent. Yes, we'll set up that fishing trip again. Shelly McLean was watching, Curtis Bostic. So I want to come back to this. So Randy and Ernesto, you guys will probably know this best. Is there any talk of going back remote in the schools? I know some schools in Jersey. I don't know if all the schools in Jersey, but some of the schools in Jersey have switched to remote again because of the rise in cases. Have you heard anything about that for New York City? Really? Because I know they were like adamantly against it at the beginning, correct?
Well, I got some clarity with our principal. I know Randy's beloved knows this pretty well. But the new the incoming chancellor, David Banks, who is the founder of Eagle Academy for boys.
Oh, wow, I know the principal over there, Eagle Academy, man.
Yo, which one?
The one in Queens.
On Merrick Boulevard?
Huh?
The one on Merrick Boulevard in Queens?
I believe it's on Merrick Boulevard, Eagle Academy.
What? He was in a choir, right?
No.
He was. What's name was I think he was an assistant principal there.
Assistant principal. Okay.
Lord, why can't I think of his name?
Someone from the choir was?
Yeah. He's with another school now.
Oh, okay.
I'll remember his name in a second. Give me a minute. I'll remember.
About is Cedric. Cedric Hall.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and he came out and did a training with my young people for the Youth Summer Summit. This guy is phenomenal. His father's phenomenal. I mean, it just runs in their blood, man. I mean,
nice.
Carlton Hall Associates, his son Cedric, principal over there at the Eagle Academy for boys. And I mean, he just came in, he did a one-day training, blew the kids away. I mean, he had them eating out of his hands, bro. I'm watching this guy like, how do you do that? I had to call his father and like, yo, you sent me a superhero over here today, and it was phenomenal. I'm looking forward to having them back again. But that's funny you would mention Eagle Academy.
Yeah, so the founder is going to be in January. He will be the the new Matthew. Yeah, that's his name. That's his name.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Matt Hamilton.
I didn't
Correct.
know he was at Eagle Academy.
Yes.
I would have
Thank you,
mentioned
Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Okay,
Yeah.
I feel bad. I sang in the choir with him. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember his name. Sorry, Matt, if you're watching.
Right.
Matt ain't watching. So he's going to be the new, and he talked about the remote option, but it's limited. So right now you don't have a remote option at all.
Right.
But if you are like, but what he talked about was if you're like immunocompromised,
right,
or whatever, then you have that option. Not, all of a sudden, well, I don't feel safe, and
right.
But four New York City schools were shut down over the weekend. I think that it was announced that there's 4 cities.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. Like that's because they had their COVID cases went over a particular threshold.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I think if we had gotten back every note or notice that our kids, our students in Q, where I work, has COVID, we would have been probably close to getting shut down too.
Wow.
But you see, the thing is that it doesn't count if the parent doesn't send back the positive result. So we'll get an email from a parent or a child will email their teacher, say, hey, Mrs. Smith, I'm homesick because I got COVID, right? The teacher calls, excuse me, and calls us, and then I will call the parent and then, follow up. And then I would tell them, please send me the form or whatever,
right?
The paperwork. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
And if they don't, you can't necessarily count it in your numbers because you have to verify with the paperwork.
Not only can I not count it, but those calls can't be made of contact tracing.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So that's the problem. So then you got teachers that are like, excuse me, but one of my kids got COVID. How come I'm not getting a call? How come this? How come that? And all this other stuff. And we're like, our hands are tied.
Oh, that's a mess,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, I know that.
Hot mess.
I know that Rachel had 3 classrooms
shut down
where the kids had to go into quarantine.
Wow.
Yes.
And
by the way,
so
Randy,
they had to go into,
Before I forget, Randy, remember that thought, because now the CDC changed the rule, right? The CDC changed the rule, and they said that now if your child got quote unquote exposed in the classroom, they test negative and they have no symptoms of COVID, they do not have to quarantine.
That is if they're fully vaccinated.
Nope.
This I had a doctor told me this over this weekend.
Yeah, I read, unless the New York Times made it.
Well, that's what the doctor told me. They said, because we were talking about, there was like, they were saying, like, for instance, if a student tested positive and the family is fully vaccinated, then obviously they've been around that kid during the whole time that kid was exposed and everything else. So they've been around that kid. If they're fully vaccinated, then they're good. They don't have to quarantine. The kid obviously still has to go through the protocol, but because he got it somewhere else, and the family was around the kid that entire time, so they're not catching it from that kid.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had it where she said that they had 3 classrooms had to be quarantined. She was in the class, one of the classrooms, and anything like over 30 minutes, something like that. So she was supposed to be quarantined also. But she had them told her that she was going to go take a test. So if you can come back with like 2 negative tests or something like that, then you don't have to be quarantined, which she did.
Okay.
But what they did with the classroom, with the kids, the teachers still came in and they taught remotely.
How old? What grade is she teaching?
Well, she's elementary. Her school only go up to 5th grade.
So there's a bunch of kids who are probably not vaccinated.
Right.
Like most of them. So
they just started
vaccinating
kids
that age, right?
So that's why they needed the quarantine, because they obviously haven't had time
and
to be
these rules
vaccinated.
are always constantly changing.
Every other day they're changing, man. Every other day.
On top of it, just to know, because it's constantly changing. So if a kid is around somebody who had it, and those kids was in that classroom, they're supposed to be quarantined or whatever, unless they could go get a test and come back and say that it was negative or something like that. Wow. But it's always on a constant thing of changing. So, it's going to be hard to really,
listen,
really
I don't know where this,
stop it, man.
I don't know where it's going. I don't. I had a question, Ernesto. You was talking about the new chancellor. Is this an Eric Adams appointment?
Yes.
Really?
And you see, Eric also stole a young lady from the Nassau Police Department to be our new police chief.
Excuse me?
She would be the first woman chief of police in New York City, and she's a black woman. And he took her from Nassau County.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to go read up on this stuff.
So listen, we're gonna need to pray for this woman, because you already know that the boys probably not happy that they A, brought in somebody from Nassau County, B, brought in a woman, C,
a black woman.
So you can expect that she's gonna get a lot of pushback on a lot of different things she tries to implement.
Right.
Because the good old boys, boy.
Yeah, she'll get it, but the problem is, one thing, when they out to prove themselves, and they can be extra tough. I'm talking about women, and she knows what she's up against.
Right.
Especially from even working out in Nassau County.
But she wasn't the chief of police there.
No, she wasn't. But you still get treated, a certain way, because you're black, because you're a woman, and so now you're in this position, and like I said, everything is changing. You know what I'm saying? I think that everything is constantly changing all the time. With because a lot of the old heads are retiring, a lot of people are throwing in their papers, and they just don't want to be bothered. So you're getting this whole new regime of people that's coming in, wanting to work, and they do whatever they got to do. So it's the things you used to be able to get away with, you can't get away with no more.
Right, and people don't like that.
Right. It's not like, because in a lot of these agencies, it's about who you know.
Yep.
So if if your Uncle Louis was on the job, you get special treatment, you get this
special appointment, get placed in the right parts of the city, all of that.
I mean, you get the most tissue jobs, because of who you know. So a lot of things now is being all shaken up, where you can't, probably back in the days, they probably would have got away with all this stuff with all this guys doing these fake IDs and stuff like that. But like things are changing, where people now is like really, really, I mean, if you really would go back and just look at the videos of Staten Island and the amount of garbage that was out there, man, I mean, it was mountains.
Wow.
And they wasn't picking it up. They refused to pick it up.
So, okay, when you say they refused to pick it up, were they just staying home, or were they going in but just not picking up?
No,
so they were getting paid,
the trucks. You will see the trucks,
but they were not.
And what happened is one person get a bag. Now, instead of them just dumping the bags, loading the truck, they get one bag. They'll park the truck maybe a block away. They go back, get a bag, and they drag the bag, one bag, throw it in, then they'll take their time, they'll walk back, then they get another bag.
Wow.
So it's like, when you come on your block, they just dump it. They
Yep.
dumping it. No.
Yep.
No, they wasn't doing it.
Yep. I saw 2 garbage trucks parked right next to one another.
Yep.
During that time, and they were just having a great conversation, but they wasn't working.
Because the thing is, all these jobs have a certain amount of rules, right? They have a script that they go by. Like if you work for the train supposed to go at a certain amount of hours, it's miles per hour.
Right.
And so many stops like that. So now when they call what they do a slowdown, they go by the book. So when they go by the book, so where you used to be able to get to the city in a half an hour, it might now take you about an hour, 15 minutes because they're going by the book. Because they slowing down purposely. They holding the doors open for a purpose, certain amount of time. And then that's how they do. So the same thing with sanitation. You get in that truck, you're supposed to check that truck every day. There's a light bulb out, or that truck is going down.
Wow.
The light bulb out. Or this is not have no oil. That's on you. And see, now the guys will go ahead and do it, but truthfully, by the book, if say like you don't have no oil in that truck, and then all of a sudden something happened to that truck, you the last guy that signed it out,
you're in trouble for it.
You're in trouble for it.
Wow.
Yeah, and before they would just turn a blind eye.
Right. And just take it out because most likely nothing's going to happen to the truck. You can take it out.
Just take it out and get it done. Just get the route done. That's it.
Wow.
But now when I'm on a slowdown, I'm going to take my time.
Wow. Okay, so let me do this. It's 5:00. Y'all know. So I said earlier, I'm not going to be on long. I'm leaving, but I'm going to leave you guys on if you want to talk longer.
What you got going on today?
Oh, listen, I got a lot of stuff going on. The girls have a track meet. Me and Erica are supposed to go run out. It's Christmas time, so I'm trying to fit everything into my schedule. So I don't want to cut you guys off.
You're going away next week.
Oh, yes. We're going to, and that's the thing. We're going to Virginia to see family.
Mm-hmm.
But now New York numbers are rising, so we're calling family and say, hey, are you guys still comfortable with us coming? We're all fully vaccinated, the whole family fully vaccinated, got our boosters, so we're good. We're confident.
The girls got boosters.
The girls didn't get boosters yet. They got both their shots.
Are you guys getting tested before you go? Is that something that you're thinking about doing?
I don't think I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I am. I'm going by.
I mean, well, because one of the things they're suggesting for family members who are going to get. Of course, they're trying to say family members who don't live in your household try not to gather. But if you're going to gather,
right,
it'll be smart for people to get tested and before they come together to make sure, So
yeah, I don't think I'm getting tested though.
That's something the family talked about now.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, if we call down and they ask us to get tested, I would get tested. Yes. But I think the fact that we're fully vaccinated and boosters, I'm feeling good about it. But listen, I totally understand people that are sort of uneasy about it.
Well, what about them that you're going to visit and the people that you're going to be around?
Most of the people we're seeing, yes, I'd say, I would probably say 100% of the people that we're going to see are fully vaccinated.
No, but are they
getting tested?
Is everybody getting tested before they try?
I don't know.
The only thing you really can do, man, is just basically just protect yourself. At this time it is in this day and time.
Right.
You gotta do what you gotta do to just protect yourself. Make sure you have your mask on. And
yeah. However, we all know, but when we get together with family, and you're there,
you start to drop those guards.
Everybody's gonna let their head down. You're not gonna plan on keeping your mask on the entire time. You're gonna be around with your cousins and your sisters and your brothers. You're gonna relax and you're gonna do it like that.
I mean, it's difficult, but when they have their friends that come over that you really don't know.
Exactly. Well, that's why they're suggesting people, if you're gonna do these gatherings, it'd be smart for everybody to try to get at least the rapid test before they all join in together.
That's the other thing. I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of random drop-ins, right? family's not really going for that. We know who's going to be there. There's not going to be these random, oh, I ain't seen you in so long. Nah, dude. We have to call you from the car. Like, we'll wave from the window, make sure you're good. Hey, how you doing? But it's not going to be a bunch of random people just popping by. That's not how we getting down. Not at all. Not at all. All right. But listen, I'm gone. So y'all want to stay on? Y'all want to talk some more? Or y'all want to say goodbye now?
Anybody got a topic we want to hash up?
I mean, no. I mean, he had up there Kyrie Irving, which is
I figured that y'all might want to talk about. Do y'all see now? Okay.
Wait a minute. Real, even if I know you trying to leave, but you see the thing with Kyrie. They said they were going to bring him back, and now he's back into COVID protocol. So
it's so messed up because
before he's even get to play one game,
everybody. I mean,
it's back into
ridiculous.
This is the unfortunate thing. So he was standing firm, right, on his beliefs. I'm not getting vaccinated. And they were standing firm, like, okay, you're not getting vaccinated, you can't play. But then when they said, we need this guy on the court, so we're
they need him because there's nobody left. Everybody's in COVID protocols.
So then they're like, listen, okay, well, let him play.
I'm saying right now, if we want to relive our fantasy of an NBA experience, we could play for the Nets right now. Because they have no one. We can get out there and we can get 10 minutes on the court.
My son,
they got nobody else to play, bro. Weren't they down to like 8 players at one time?
They had 8. I think they had less than 8 players.
They had 7. They had 7 players.
Wow.
My son had tickets to the game today.
Really?
And they postponed the game. I mean, so I don't know what's going on with this NBA, man.
NBA, the NFL.
I don't know what's going on. I think they might need to, shut the fans out again.
Well, the NHL did that for one game already this weekend.
I think they might need to shut the fans out again because you got thousands of people.
They did that in Canada, you said, Ernesto?
Yeah, it was a game in Canada.
Yeah, they did the NHL game with no fans. They just went back to no fans.
Yeah, I think it was Quebec.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do something because you got thousands of people sitting there drinking, yelling, no mask.
My boss has tickets to the Giants game today. And he was like, I don't know. He was like, I don't know.
Did you see the game? It was crowded.
Screaming, yelling, spitting.
And football fans are a different type of rowdy.
They're playing Dallas.
Oh, man, that's going to be... Listen, if somebody would purposely come in there with COVID to try to give it to the Dallas fans.
Wait, who's this? Oh, John, listen, I don't care who they bring back. They're not beating Golden State, my dude. I don't care who they bring back. Once Clay comes back, I'm so looking forward to Golden State being at full strength, man. Yeah, I really am.
That's going to be...
Listen, y'all going to get me in trouble, man. I'm still talking. I got to go.
All right. We want to say goodbye? We can do that.
Nah, y'all say goodbye when y'all...
Oh, wow.
You talk about rude.
I think that was Erica pulling the plug.
That's exactly what that was.
I think talking about rude. I think we need to make Louisa our new host.
Yes. But whatever. Ern, it's good to see you, man. I've been thinking about you.
Everybody, dude.
Who?
You.
What do you mean I know it? You gotta. I guess you got from your coworker must have said something to you.
Yeah, she's that. Randy, the athletic director at the school, knows Vaughn.
Yeah, well,
it was like the funny thing about it was. She's like, yeah, so, I said, oh, yeah. I said, not only is that my friend, but I'm the godfather of his children. So immediately she was like, well, you think you can get us a discount? And I'm like, I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I'm like, no. I want my friend to get hooked up, not
a discount for what?
Well, because of my field, marketing, I do a lot of, signage and promotion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So so they're looking to do some things at his school, and we were talking, and and I told her about my good friend there. So of course, I'm sure she said something to Ernesto.
Yeah, she sure did, man. But what she said was, well, because the principal is paying it out of pocket, but he wears tailored suits to work. He all right.
So he's good.
He's good. He's good. He's good. I like them, but he's good.
Well, and I told her I have an affinity for QSOT because you worked there, and I was like, also when when we were looking for a high school for Taylor, that was probably my first choice if it was gonna be a public school. So
that field was off the. That's what got you.
Oh yeah, because I drove when I went to visit the school and I saw the football field. I saw the big sports athletic field. That I was like, yes. I couldn't wait to be a parent coming to see games at that field.
Yeah, it looks pretty professional. Like,
yes.
You don't think you're in a school in New York City?
No,
you drive in there.
This is your school?
Yeah.
So they had a field redone?
No, it's a relatively new school. So it wasn't done. It's just
But their field, it looks like something that you see in one of them southern states, where they have this really huge athletic,
they have the lights out there that lights up.
Yeah, it's out everything. Yeah,
it's super impressive. It's super impressive. It doesn't look like New York City.
No.
Yeah, they have that type of stuff out here in Nassau and Suffolk. Those big gigantic fields, man, unbelievable. Yes,
it is unbelievable.
Yeah, so that's cool.
But Spawn, so the CDC thing, that was what the New York Times said. It literally said, I'm going to read it to you. It literally says, CDC says unvaccinated students exposed to virus can test and stay.
Unvaccinated.
Unvaccinated, yes, sir.
Wow. Okay.
December 17th article. What your doctor says actually made more sense than the CDC.
But because the doctor was like, if you're fully vaccinated and everything else,
right?
In that case. And as a matter of fact, they said someone in the house who is even partially vaccinated should separate for a while because their full vaccination hasn't kicked in. So I don't. Listen, like you said, things are changing because maybe the science is still being studied, and listen, you just gotta stay prayed up.
That's it. So you gotta do that and take care of yourself.
Use common sense and stay prayed up.
So I'm not a prophet. Everybody knows that I'm not. Who knows me? But I've been hearing a lot of talk that 2020 is going to be something else.
2020.
I mean 2022.
Yeah, you're hearing that from people in the prophetic world,
men and women of God, wogs and mogs,
ones that you
respect. Yes.
Respect. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. Some people that you both know.
Okay.
And the thing is,
well, when you say something else as in traumatic things happening, or it's just saying it was going to be,
vague. It was vague. It was vague. However, it was pretty much that. So I mean, let me be very specific in one case. What I was told was that when police or certain officers before a presentation, they do a uniform check.
Okay.
Right, to make sure that everything is straight and everything.
Right.
The way how it was described to me was that God is giving everyone, like all his people, a uniform check before the new year. And those who are ready, there's gonna be some spiritual warfare going on. And that's it. I mean, that's and the other one just said it's going to be very, very, very challenging.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if he needed to be in a prophetic to really know that, but
I mean, we all know, those have read and everything else, and know, prophetic prophetic things and prophecy, Bible prophecy. We all expect there's gonna be trials, tribulation. It always makes me uneasy when prophets are saying stuff very vague that could be anything, and they just have something out there, and it's kind of vague, and and then it'll be like, and at the end they could be like, "See, that's what I was talking about. See, that's what I was talking about," but but without really explaining anything, that
it's like some things. Well, we all know how. Most people know how the prophetic work. You only know in parts,
right?
You don't never really get there. God never give you the whole true picture. But I mean, you can look and see the handwriting on the wall.
Kind of do,
what things are
where things are going,
right?
And because I've been like really. I've been like really, really wrestling with this thing and thinking about it, because it just seems like the Bible and the way that people see God, it's like it's becoming irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Like there's no, it's like they don't even like believe in it. They say they do. Mm-hmm. They say they believe in God. They say they trust God. They believe that there is somebody. But as far as following His word or living towards His word, it's like it doesn't even exist anymore.
Randy, you talking about the saints or just people in general?
Both. It seemed like even within the church.
Yeah.
Because like for instance, this morning I was reading the news, and I was going through Google News, and I saw where it says that Steph Curry and his wife has an open marriage relationship.
I've never heard that before.
I just read this morning.
You just read that on? You read that in what?
Well, they have a Google News. They have a little clipping, and so I didn't click on it because I was so disturbed by it. I just said, man, I don't want to give this no. But I know that a lot of people are doing it,
right? Because
they don't want. I'm not going to, I love you, I care for you, this and that. But the problem is, because everything now seems to be coming down to about the flesh, the sex, and being satisfied. So now it's like, you hear all these different actors and actresses and people are really starting to get into this open marriage. We'll stay together, but, I would like to step out of our marriage. You do you, I do me, we come together, and this is where it's at. So where the word of God is like, we don't want to hear anything that has to say that you shouldn't do this or should not do that or this and that. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. I'm about pleasing myself now. And so that's the kind of thing that kind of like disturbed me in it. So I don't know if it's true, if it's not true. I didn't read it, but this is what a lot of people are starting to get into, where we just, remind me of that old song. They do it because they, it's cheaper to keep her. And that's the thing that kind of like disturbed me on it. But I was just like starting to question myself on it, man. Do people, it's like people just don't believe. Even in the church, they just accept anything that comes in now. We know anything that comes in, they just accept it and we embrace it. But you don't realize that when you start accepting these things from the world, there's a spirit that's attached to it. And you bring these things in. I can't stand watching any of these award shows anymore. Because everything that you see on it is like, it's X-rated, with the women, it's not even about the talent and the gift anymore. How I can sell this and make it happen. And this is where, it's becoming disturbance. I don't know where we are the church speaking out against it like they used to speak out against it, or they're just accepting it. So, it's troubling sometimes to see it in the
I mean, there's definitely and the stuff goes on that'll grieve your spirit in the world. And you're talking about the women that I think about. You said it's not about the talent and everything else, because I think about Doja Cat. Doja Cat, I think she's extremely talented, singer, rapper, dancer, and everything else. But if you listen to her lyrics, it's just overtly sexual. It's like it's no need. There was no need. She's so talented. She's so talented. Her content doesn't have to be what it is, and she doesn't have to sell sex the way she does. But like you said, this is what they have to do. If you look at, the two girls, Chloe and whatever their names are, those they're in the Grown show, and they're singing.
Grown show, yeah.
They're in the singer. Chloe, she's had her own single out. It has to be. She released her first single, and it's ridiculously sexual. And like, why? You don't have to. You're so talented.
Exactly.
But they feel that this is what they have to do to be relevant nowadays. It's
right. I remember Alicia Keys when she first came out. She was just playing and singing. Mm-hmm. Then they try to turn her into like a Beyonce, try to get her to dance and all that.
She can't dance,
and that's the point. But in order to sell, this is what they wanted her to do.
I think they realized quickly it won't work with her because she can't move.
Right, and she knows that.
Right.
So she decided that I'm just gonna be myself.
Yes,
which was the best thing for her to do. And you look at the red carpet. Everybody got on the outfits that's showing practically everything, and you just sit there saying like, why? I mean,
because
it's all about getting attention.
That's what it's about. Attention. That's correct.
Yes, that's who's going to get the most, is who's going to turn the heads, and all this kind of stuff. And this is what everybody is constantly getting into. But I'm just saying that where is the church in this? We talking about all these different things and the prophets.
But all the church can do is teach their own. I mean, they can try to they can teach their own, and they can, when they have opportunity, get in the mainstream and say stuff. But basically, the church has to try to develop their own, because then they don't have the media platform to be in the news, to be in, not anymore the way it used to be. So
you're right, but the church is in the home.
They're in the home, right? So,
and I think that I think it's a huge challenge, though. I mean, this is one of those things where I'm not even, because me, I'll quickly point out where the church needs to improve and where we ourselves and myself need to improve. But in this case, this is really tough because our kids are being exposed.
Right.
Even if you keep them, even if you have your home a certain way, as soon as they walk out that door, the exposure is different. The messages or the messaging that kids are getting these days are much more than when we were
young. Absolutely.
You get it from school. If the kid has a phone, if they have a computer or whatever, and that their access, even if you put on filters, even TikTok, it's absolutely, it's so difficult being a parent these days, and I think it's even more difficult being a child.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. The church, just like the parent, you have to develop your own. You have to teach them the ways of the Lord and common sense and things of the nature, and you have to pour into them, because I mean, you can't change the world. You can't change everybody else. You can work on developing who's in your care, and pray over them and do things, right, and teach them right, and then send them out into the world.
Yeah. And make their own mistakes. Yeah. And hopefully when they fall or they because what did Pastor say once about adolescence and testing or boundaries?
You got cut off. Whatever you were saying.
So, so I was reading some of this thing. Could you see what Nicole wrote?
Remember, they are in the world for the world, and thus their identity. I guess their identity is in the word, and of the word, and aiming to please the world.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of stuff. It is true. They in the world and stuff like that. But still, you can teach them, you can guide them, and when they leave your home, they still get caught up into the thing
because they're gonna want to. It's inevitable. Kids, they're gonna want to probably experiment a little bit of things. They're gonna test the waters a little bit.
Yeah.
And some case, and you pray prayerfully. In most cases, when they step on stuff, they realize that's too hot and realize that's not for me. But
right.
Kids are gonna want to, unfortunately, it's fake to think that they're going to walk with their head in the Bible the whole time, and they're going to live their whole lives that way, because 9 times out of 10, that's not the way it's going to be. And they're going to try things, and you pray that they'll see their boundaries, and even if they put their toe over it, they'll realize I need to get back.
Yeah, it's like it just seems like like I'm reading what this guy John Lewis said the pastor put on Instagram a few days ago, that the church needs to get back to sound doctrine. So, and it's true that they need to start to get back to speaking out against just certain things. Mm-hmm. But see, the world had just came and just basically kind of like tied the church's hands, where that if you speak out against certain things or say certain things, it's like a threat or this and all that kind of stuff. But we need to get back to teaching the sound doctrine, teaching the things that that somewhat speaks out against a lot of this stuff, getting people. But people are just some people are just not aware. It's like they can't even aware anymore.
So I agree, but maybe it has to be the way they teach. They can't teach the way they used to. They can't just be, you can still speak out if something is sin. You can still point out it's sin, but you maybe need to be more mindful of the way you're speaking out about it, the way that it used to be okay in the past, okay in the past, because it's not okay, and because things have become so common in the world, and that people, you have to be careful of how you approach it. Even if you want to teach against it, you still need to do it in certain ways, because it's so common, and the world is so confused at this time that they think, when they think what is evil is good, so that you have to be mindful of the way you approach and you teach, and that's, because there's used to be able to blast stuff and holler and scream, and it was okay, but now you're going to teach, you have to come out in a more loving manner in the way you're teaching against those things.
Yeah, it's kind of it's difficult. You got to have a different approach to it, but also I think that as far as Christians, the light of God must really start to where we need to maybe start to just developing ourselves, because it's a point that they can't tell the difference. The world can't tell the difference. Where if you a Christian, not because the word is so vague, everybody throws it around. I'm a Christian, but they don't see a difference in in what you say, how you live. You say the same thing that they say. You basically live in the same thing that they live in, and you act in the same way that they act. You dress the same way that they dress. You go to the same places that they go. They don't see a difference, and so they can become so comfortable around you. I mean, one thing that about when you talk about Christ, he was. You didn't feel comfortable around him when you got in his presence. because of not just because of who he is, but because of the light that shine above them. So
Right.
light expels the darkness. So when you come into a room, people should be able to tell
To know the difference.
there's
Yeah.
something different about
Right.
this one here.
And maybe say, one of the things that always made me feel good, because I've always been the type that I don't shout about my faith and holler and scream and let my like you said, let my light shine and live my life and want to represent and I want my faith to be something that draws people and people and make people come there. So I love when young people and kids and everything else come around my house. And I remember, I guess this was there was a situation where it was a bunch of teenagers in my house, guys who lived around the block, who lived around the area. They were in the house, and I was in the kitchen, and I heard there was a new kid who really doesn't live around, but he was with some of the other kids, and they were in my living room, and the kid said something. I forgot. He said something. He cursed or something. He said something, and one of the other kids, and I wasn't in the room, and one of the other kids said to him, "Hey, you can't do that here." He said, "This is a Christian home." He said, "This is a Christian home. You can't do that in this house." That wasn't me, and I was in the other room, and I heard it, and and I was gonna come in. I was gonna say something when I came back, but before I did, one of the other kids corrected him. One of the other kids who lived on the block corrected him. And I wasn't in the room, and none of us were in the room, and he was like, "This is a Christian home. You can't do that in this house." So I'm glad that that people could see and know there's a difference.
Right.
And that, and that's what I want. I want the people to be comfortable coming here and don't want my faith to scare them away, but I want them to know that there's a different type of way that you act when you're around them, because there's a different standard here.
And that's what I'm saying, is that we need to get to the place where we, as who name the name of Christ, set a standard on how we are, that people can see. You don't even have to say a lot of stuff,
right?
But they should be able to see it. Christians should not be twerking.
Well, listen, I'm not going to tell Christians they can't twerk. They do what they want to do with their husband and wife.
Well, I'm just saying.
Listen, Adrian, baby, if my wife was listening, Adrian, you can twerk for me.
That's a different story. I'm talking. That's a different story. I know that with we got Brother Allen trying to get on, but we don't have access. Could you do it?
What happened?
I said you got Allen trying to get on, but we don't have the power to add nobody. Right?
Oh wow, because Thurston's out. Thurston set it up and broke out. Allen, he left a little early. We're gonna leave too, but Thurston, So
well, if your wife wants to do that, she has all the power and the right to do it. You can enjoy that.
That's right.
I remember one of the elders had to call in one of the worship leaders.
What?
That's right. This is just what I'm talking about. He had to call him in because he was on Facebook and he was doing it at his birthday party. So elder had to call him in.
Oh, Jesus.
And he addressed the whole entire PAM department about living a standard, living a life. It's a certain way, so that people, because there's no need of you being up on stage and you talk in the name of Christ and doing this and singing, and then when they go you go out into the world and they can't see that difference that what you just finished singing about.
Exactly, because first of all, if you're going to take on the mantle of standing in front of to represent your church and represent Christ as a leader in some form, you should have. Well, everybody doesn't have.
Yeah. But anyway, man, it was good talking to you. I have to
absolutely. We just want to point out Nicole's final closing statement: the marriage bed shall not be defiled by twerking. Amen on that.
Amen. Yeah. So we just want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Louisa, Nicole, John Lewis.
Brother John. We don't have all the names like Thursday. I'm gonna have to give him a call and blast him out because he can't just leave and don't give nobody the power to be able to control the show.
Yeah, because Alan looked like he wanted to come in and
Alan.
but we couldn't pull him in.
We lost Ernesto, but I'm quite sure he tried to get back in.
He texted me. He said that his battery power went out. But we want to thank you everyone for tuning in. And I can't remember what Thurston usually says to close the show. Something about live your life out loud, something of that nature. I can't remember exactly what his closing statement. But we want to thank you guys, and hope you guys have a. If we don't get in to come in next week, because I think Thurston's going to be away, so we may not be able to come on next week. But maybe he'll even do it remotely. But if not, we want to wish everybody a wonderful Christmas, and we hope we get to talk to you again before the new year pulls in. We thank you all, and just be praying that you guys all have a blessed and most importantly a Christ-filled Christmas.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Okay, man. All right. God bless, man.
All right.